Hello, 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 hello. Good evening, everyone. How are you? I um, I welcome you, and I look forward to you joining me this evening. So, as you pop on, please feel free to let me know you're here. Let me know you can hear me and see me. I'm recording, and just let me know if you're on here. Say hello, or give me a like, or just say you can hear everything. Okay, so I'm just going to dive right in here tonight. And I just want to let you know my name is Yolanda Ransom, and I'm a certified financial coach. If you haven't met me yet, and what I do is I work with clients, whether I do it one-on-one or whether in groups, I help clients master new money management skills. So that way they learn new skills. So basically, they can live their dreams. That's the whole idea, right? That's why we're all trying to manage our money better, make money, to live our dreams. So in a nutshell, that's what I do. And I've been doing a three-part series, and this is part three tonight. So you're here for part three. The whole series is 3 steps to save money for your dreams and not go broke. And so that's what the whole thing is about. And tonight I'm going to do the third part of that. So I'm going to dive right in for you, and I have some good, really good stuff to talk to you about. So I'm going to let you know that if you have any questions as we're moving forward tonight, just feel free to let me know. Okay, so I have some great notes, some great tips here for you, and just put your comments up as I'm moving forward if you have any or any questions. Okay, so tonight this is part three again, and it's the surefire method to save thousands so you can live your dreams, even if you've tried and failed before. And if you're anything like me, you probably hear like, surefire, are you for real? Are you for real now? Yes, I'm for real. I'm for real. And that may not sound possible to you. Let me know what you think. Do you think there really is a surefire way to make sure that you save thousands? Let me know. You can put yes, put no. Just let me know your thoughts if that sounds feasible to you, okay? And I want to let you know, by nature, I'm also a very skeptical person, if that's you. And I'm like, people need to prove things to me. They need to show me. I always go check things out. So basically, I'm going to show you tonight. I'm going to show you how it's possible and examples. I'm going to show you exactly how that has happened, okay? And as I said, if you have any comments, any questions, just put them up there for me, and I'll be sure to answer you as we continue. So if you have doubts about this, I completely understand that. And I would love to know from you, what are some of the things that you tried before that didn't work for you? Like, what are some of the things? You can leave me a comment, let me know. Or what are the things that stopped you from saving for your dreams? Let me know. I want to make sure that I'm addressing things for you according to your experience, because I know from my personal experience what I've experienced. I know a lot of my clients, what has caused challenges for them, and I want to be able to directly support you in that. Okay, but I've had a lot of clients who they felt like they tried things and they just didn't work. They were trying to make their money situation better. And I'm going to tell you the method, right? And it consists of a couple of things, and I'm going to show you what they are. Okay, so saving thousands for your dreams, it can be done in a couple of ways. You can actually make enough money or extra money where you are able to put thousands into your savings, or you can get that money for those thousands another way. You can get that by freeing up money from debt, things like that. And so I'm going to give you an example, though. I'm going to tell you about one of my clients to help you better understand it, okay? So that you have a better idea. And I have some great notes I'm referring to, so I make sure I get everything in here for you tonight, okay? And so the first thing I want to tell you is that one client that I worked with, the method that worked, the part of the method that worked, especially was creating a financial system that works for you. That is a part of the method. See, I had a client, she came in, she was doing really well. She was doing really well in her career. She was making great money. She was single. She had no children, and her expenses were pretty reasonable. She didn't have a lot of expenses, but she wasn't doing well. She was not doing well financially, and it was because she was doing things like she had a lot of credit card debt. She was buying gifts, like Christmas gifts, all this stuff, on credit card. Probably buying herself some stuff too, right? I mean, we usually buy our own stuff, so some stuff too. So she was buying a lot of stuff on her credit card. So she had a lot of debt, thousands in debt, and she was giving away a lot of cash to her relatives because she was doing well, right? So, they would ask her for money, and she would give it to them. So she came because she realized she needed to make a change. She had tried some things here and there, and she wanted to buy a home. So, we all know, right? When you're trying to buy a home, you need a few things, right? One of them is savings because you need money for that down payment, right? Or if you need money for that, you always do, right? You're going to need some kind of, unless you're in some amazing program, but usually you need money for the down payment, and you need a pretty good credit score, and she didn't have that either. And the thing is, if you have a low score, when you try to get that mortgage, guess what? You are going to pay a whole lot more. You're going to get a much higher interest rate than somebody with a better score. So that's another way where thousands can be saved, right? You get that score up. When you are trying to get loans, things like that, you are not going to pay those thousands extra. You're going to have thousands less to pay to put somewhere else, like your savings, right? So the thing was, she knew she needed to change these things. So what we did was I sat down with her and I created a system with her, a financial system, so that she could start getting these things together. And she started working at it. She worked with the system. She was doing it. She started making some changes. Like, she came back shortly after, and she was telling me how, and we went over everything, and she showed me how she was cutting her expenses. She was paying down some of her credit card debt. She stopped giving out so much money. So these things freed up her money, right? It freed up thousands for her. So that was the thing. This is what she did, and with the system that we made, that she worked at it too. See, that's the key thing. She worked at it, and I was able to help her create a plan for her based on who she was. Because that's the thing, right? We all hear a lot of advice and stuff, right? We hear all these different things about finances, but the thing is, what works for somebody else may not work for you. So what you need is a system that works for you, something based on your personality, something based on, what the types of things you would do, that will help you to reach those goals. So the thing is, so she applied the system that we created, right? And it worked. We worked together, and she was able to free up thousands. What she did by working with me with this system, it equaled thousands for her, because it was, less debt. She was paying down that debt. That's freeing up money. Giving less money to her relatives. That's freeing up money. Things like that. So that's one way that works. Like, does that make sense to you? That's the system. Having a system will allow you to save thousands. Let me know if that makes sense. And if you're joining me, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. Say hello, and I'll know you're out there. And then the next part for the system, right? Be consistent. See, because the thing is, I know we all know this, because I know it for many areas in my life, right? To save thousands successfully, you have to be consistent. There's really no way around that. Trying things here or there occasionally, it doesn't lead to saving thousands for your dreams. It doesn't. And, I'm going to tell you about myself, for example, right? Years ago, many years ago, before I got my situation together, I had racked up a whole lot of credit card debt, right? And it was tight. It was real tight for me because I was struggling. I had bills, and I was paying all my bills. I was paying all my bills on time, but I had a lot of credit card debt. I had thousands in debt, because you get a card, you do well with it. Somebody gives you another card. I was going crazy. I was like, yeah, I got credit, right? So I was spending, and then what happened was, I was paying just the minimum, because that's all I made sure my rent, everything else was paid. I was paying the minimum. And if you're paying the minimum, you are not getting out of debt. You're not. That's going on for years and years. So what happened was, I had to finally take a payday loan because it was so tight for me at that time. And that made it worse. If anybody has ever had a payday loan or you know what it is, if you don't, let me know. But those payday loans, they will knock you out, you know. So I was struggling just to get that paid after I did that. So I finally got that taken care of. And then I was like, you know what, I'm done with this. I cannot do this anymore. I don't want to live this way. So what I did was I did the work, found out some information, and I had a plan, and I consistently worked at it, right? And I paid down all my debt, got it down to zero, and I don't owe any credit card debt now. And I made a point to consistently keep doing those habits I learned. Those things have helped me today to stay out of credit card debt. So this is another part of the system. By consistently paying down my credit card debt, doing those things, I freed up thousands. And guess what? I did, because I took that money and went to my savings, thousands. So that's another way. That's part of the method. And can you relate to any of these things I'm saying? Let me know. Let me know if you may have gone through the same thing, or you get what I'm saying. And I'm going to tell you another part of this method, another thing as well. When you are trying to save those thousands for your dreams, something you need to do is you need to regularly work with someone who knows more about money than you do. And I seek information, I seek resources, I seek out others who know more about money than I do, because there's always going to be something you're going to need help with at some point, right? And if you are making progress and you don't know how to handle a certain thing, that can knock you off, right? And I'm going to tell you about a client that I work with, right? She came in and she told me her story, and she had previously she had spent a lot of money. She was kind of reckless with her finances when she was younger, but she had learned from it. She was doing really well. She was paying her bills. She had some credit card debt, but she was taking care of everything. She was really on point. And her credit score was pretty good, 700 range up there, you know, and it was pretty good. And she was really proud of herself, and she had every right to be. But then out of nowhere, you know, her financial future was in jeopardy all of a sudden, because guess what happened? She got this letter. She got a letter from a lawyer, right? And even though I know sometimes I just need to calm down, even when I see a letter from a lawyer, I get nervous too, right? So she got nervous. We usually get nervous. We see an attorney office, you see, you know, a legal office. You're like, what? So she got really worried, and she found out that the court said she owed over $20,000 for a credit card. And she didn't even remember the card. She didn't have it anymore, and she was just distressed, and understandably. But she was scared, and she thought she had to pay it. So she got calls from the bill collectors, the debt collectors, and she was like, I'll pay this. I'm going to pay you, because she was terrified. You know, she's like, I got to pay this. She didn't have $20,000, though. She did not have over $20,000 to pay this. And so she was telling these collectors she could do it. And the thing is, she came in. When I saw her, she was so upset, you know, pretty much near tears. And she came in the nick of time to work with me, because, again, she found someone who knew more about money, this money matter, than she did. And I was able to help her. And I showed her her options, and that she had other options, and that she could possibly legally get rid of all of that debt. And guess what? She listened to what I told her. She listened to the advice I told her. And guess what happened? That over $20,000 was eliminated legally. She did not owe that money. She did not have to pay that money. And by seeking help from someone else who knew more about it, professional like me, and financial coaching and counseling, she was able to get rid of that. And so guess what? The next time I saw her, she was a different person. She looked like a different person. She was so, it was like, day she was so peaceful, she was radiant, she was beaming, and she was just so glad for the information that I gave her, and that she felt like her life was back on track. And so that's the thing, a part of the method that, like I'm stressing, there's a point where you're going to need to seek someone who knows more about things than you, and work with them, and regularly do this too. So she saved thousands for her dreams because she was working on other things in her life, and she was saving money. And then by doing this, she saved over 20,000 debt. That freed up thousands again for her dreams, right? And she did it legally and everything. So that's amazing, isn't it? I think that's absolutely. Does that make sense to you? How that makes a big difference in your life? That could possibly make a huge difference for you. So again, I'm going to tell you the last part of this method, and it's something you probably have heard about before, and if you haven't, you let me know. It's something I use myself. I have an accountability partner, right? See, because again, the person that you work with regularly with your money matters may not be your accountability partner. They will provide accountability for you, but maybe you need someone else too who's doing it more regularly for you, right? So that can be anyone. That can be a friend, a trusted advisor, a financial coach or professional, someone like that, whoever will work for you. Because I mentioned in part 2, if you haven't seen it, make sure you check that out. In part 2, I mentioned that I had a client, a middle-aged client that worked with me, and when he came to work with me, he had nothing saved, nothing at all, and that was his concern. And so, by working with me, he did system, he was consistent, all these things, right, that I was just talking about, and he was able to turn it around, and now he has thousands saved in his savings and in his retirement account. And so the thing is, he doesn't know anyone personally that can provide accountability for him in the way that he needs, so he works with me for that. But the main thing is you have to find someone you trust, someone who's positively supporting you, that you know has your back, and somebody knows what they're talking about, pretty much. They know the basics of, at least, of what you're dealing with, and they're going to hold you accountable, right? So if you set goals for yourself and you're not on track, they're going to say, you know what, you're not doing what you said you were going to do. They're going to help you stay on track, and they're going to show you how to get back on track. So this is the last part of the method, the Surefire method. You need to have an accountability partner. And so let me know what you think. Like, think about these 4 things I mentioned for the method, and let me know if you think they really would make the difference for you. Because all of these things together, if you're consistent, because that's the main thing, committed, consistent, this does work. It's a surefire way to save thousands for your dreams. And let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And this method has worked for me, and it's worked for many clients, because I told you about my own experience, and it's worked for many of the clients. And just so you know, I've done over 100 coaching sessions one-on-one with different individuals, and I've advised thousands on financial matters. And this method has resulted in people successfully saving thousands of dollars to pursue their dreams. And so by taking the actions, in this method, they achieve success with their goals, and they are making progress. So and this is even in light of the fact that they tried other things that didn't work before. So again, I'd love your feedback. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you think this is possible for you. Like, would this work for you? Do you believe that it would work for you? Let me know your thoughts on that, okay? And if anybody has questions, just let me know. I welcome your questions, comments. I want to let you know that you can leave them now if you have them, or if you're watching the replay, just leave the questions. Trust me, I will gladly respond to you. I love interacting and talking to everyone, so let me know your questions if you're seeing them on the replay, and I'll be glad to follow up with you, okay? And now this series here, I went over some things with you. They were pretty much I would say nuggets, or a lot of basic information. Like part 1, I went into how to find money for your dreams. Then part 2, I told you the 2 things you need to avoid going broke. And then tonight, the Surefire method to save thousands so you can live your dreams, even if you've tried and failed before. So I did all of that, and what I'm going to do, I'm doing a full presentation. And the presentation is going to go more into this. It's going to go deeper into this. And I want to invite you to join me there, okay? So I'm going to be doing that November 12th. Full presentation. It'll be a webinar, so I'm going to put the link here for you, okay, so that you can join me. I'll put it up for you now, so you register for that. Here we go. Putting that up. Okay, great. There it is right there for you. And, you know, go ahead and just register for that, you know, because, you know, webinars fill up fast. So just register and then join me for that. And if you know anybody else you think that might be, you know, this might be helpful, let them know too, okay? And again, I want to thank you. I'm going to wrap it up now. I really enjoyed chatting and sharing this with you, and thank you for taking time to join me. And share this, please. If you know of anybody that you think this will really help, share the video, let them know I'm doing the webinar, the full presentation on November 12th. And just want to say have a lovely evening. And be on Facebook, so you can always chat with me here, meet me, follow me, whatever. And I'd love to speak with you. And I hope you have a lovely, lovely evening. Okay? Have a good night. Bye-bye.